Hey everybody, ArtzyDude here. Welcome again to the ArtzyDude channel. It's the place where creativity is more important than knowledge, but the acquisition of knowledge, great knowledge. It's an art form, and the two go hand in hand. I'm going to take you over to the art table here in just a second. We're going to draw some more UAPs, UFO configurations, quick sketches. See how you like that stuff, all right? So hang on tight. Be there shortly. Hey, welcome back to the artboard. Going to look at some different types of UFOs again. I saw this one which was very sieve-like. Had a little bit of a border like this. And it had this kind of top like that. All these different shapes for UFOs. It's kind of bizarre. You wonder where they all come from. I mean, if there's that many civilizations that's been visiting us throughout time, then you wonder. You got to wonder, where did they all come from? And I mean, isn't it interesting when you think about like all of the different propulsion systems too? Like every civilization had to develop a lot of their own propulsion systems on their own physics. Probably physics are different in different parts of the different parts of the universe only because of the gravitational fields in that particular part of the universe, right? So all of these aliens with their crafts developing different types of propulsion systems. Now maybe one alien civilization copied another alien civilization or was watching them the way they watch us, you know what I mean? But it's just interesting when you think about that. I do. I think that's interesting. That there could be so many different types of crafts out there, so many different types of engineering. And again, stuff that we don't even understand. I was listening to a show the other night. Can't remember who the guest was, but he was talking about that he went into the ship. And it was just a small ship, like let's say, say 20 feet high. I mean, it's a relatively small ship. He went into the ship, but he said when he was inside the ship itself was like cavernous, like 50 or 60 feet inside. And it was because they had a way of displacing time and space. In fact, he was mentioning, God, I can't remember the guy's, a lieutenant or something, sergeant or something, I don't know. He worked at Area 51 retrieving crash retrievals. And he talked about how he would walk in and, like I said, from here to here maybe it was 20 feet high, but when you got inside the craft, it was 50 or 60 feet high, cavernous in there, and it was because they used time and space together so that multiple crafts could actually be in the same space as one craft, but in different dimensions. Does that make any sense? It's just weird when you think about it. It's another craft I saw not too long ago. And of course, you don't know what to believe, but anything's possible, right? Anything's possible. Anything is possible nowadays. And again, as we talk, as I just said about all of this, different technologies, different civilizations arriving at different types of physics for their particular part of the galaxy or universe, for their particular. When we talk about universe, that's so vast. I mean, it's really galaxy. I mean, when we talk about, you know, it's a galaxy is what we're talking about right now. Let's just talk about our galaxy. I mean, that's massive. Trillions and trillions and trillions of stars. Billions of stars, trillions of stars, right? And we can't even comprehend, you know, what that would be like, how far the distances are, and that some civilizations actually have conquered that, is able to travel, you know, that great distance. Amazing stuff. Just always like to doodle these crafts out, try to figure out what they look like, you know. This was one that where it was kind of struck me as being, it was really weird. It was like these two cylinders with a row of lights, and I think I've got it a little bit too high. It was more barrel shaped, the whole thing, you know. It was more barrel shaped, but nonetheless. And this thing, you know, was obviously floating left and right, but it would come down, straight down, you know. And go straight up, you know. Now going, you know, my illustrations are rough, and I'm going to do some color illustrations, I think, one of these days too. But there's so many different really cool ones. I mean, this one was very aerodynamic looking. The one I've seen, it was almost, I mean, some of them are bizarre looking, you know. There's I've seen one kind of looks like this. It's got a bubble on top here and a bubble on top here, kind of. And it's kind of spherical. Can you imagine, as I said, about all of this different type of technology from different civilizations? And that's just the technology for flying craft. Can you imagine their technology for, say, food processing, farming? I mean, you can't even imagine, you know, what that would be like. Do they have farms? Do they farm for meat like we do? I mean, I guess they could. So this craft was kind of weird. It had these like, I don't know if they were induction systems or something along the side of it. And definitely different craft. And some of these, I gotta imagine some of them going interdimensionally, possibly. You know, do they go interdimensionally? I don't know. Who knows, right? Who knows? Fun to think about, though. Yeah, it was kind of something like that. And this whole thing spun around, it kind of spun this way, you know? This center part spun around this axis here. And so this spun this way, and then this spun this way, and that spun this way. Very interesting. There's some all kinds of different ones that have been reported. Trying to think of some of the other ones that we've seen. There's been some just really weird ones, you know. And it's weird how they have changed their shape. Now, Alien Protocols has this thing about near future technology. Like, you know, some of the stuff that we've seen back in the day was, you know, old technology. And it had that sort of 50s kind of look or 60s kind of look, you know, like the one I was drawing the other day. So, I don't know. Just some ideas on some different craft here. Thought I'd take another crack at it. Kind of looking at some samples. You know, there's always these weird ones, you know. There's a, I don't know if you remember that one, it was kind of like a, again, from a 1950s style. It's like something like that. Actually, it was more of a sphere, because if we're looking at the bottom of the craft, then it would be like, the bottom of the craft would be like that. And it actually had landing gear, you know. You wonder about that, you know. Got landing gear or something like that on the bottom of the craft. Now that looks like a 1950s style type of craft. You know what I mean? It's got that, just the landing gear. I mean, that looks like something from like, just totally weird. I think the wheels went one way, and then there was like two sets of wheels, one set over here facing that way, and then these two sets faced this way, and then they had little windows on them. I mean, how like, you know, kind of crazy is that? That's 1950s style. 1950s style craft for sure. You know? Yeah, let me just get that sketched in a little bit more so I can get some depth there. And then I think it was like a, you know, my doodles aren't that good. I try to, I kind of overwork things, and I just keep plugging away at them until I feel like, well, they're at some semblance of, you know, they feel more like a three-dimensional object at some point. There we go. Now we're getting that curve or that bottom there. Yeah, so you see what I'm saying now? This is kind of like that. That's definitely a 1950s kind of craft. And in fact, it had some sort of a transparent bubble down here at the bottom. I don't know what that was, if that was, you know, cameras or camera gear down there underneath. But it was something like that, something to that effect, a landing gear. And actually, like I said, it had an apparatus to make it all look like it was something out of the 50s. Anyways, I'm rambling over here. But couple more ships I just wanted to share with you. I was thinking about them again, and I'm trying to refine this tripod system that I'm using. I'd like to do some color illustrations here for you and just break out a few color illustrations, you know, just as quick, just like I've done here. This one had, say if it was above the ground, it'd be a little bit of a shadow, you know, a little bit of a shadow. Something, you know, like that. But yeah, anyways, there you go. 4 different crafts, all kinds of variations. This craft here spins around this way too. This almost looks like sort of something that would have made by the Navy or the Air Force, you know, some back engineered kind of a United States look to it. This one's totally bizarre as it spins around. This one too. This one's just a weird looking craft. And again, some of them that I've seen out there, you know, are from these channels like Secure Team 10 or some of these other ones, you know, where you can't, half of the stuff you see on there, probably 98% of it is fake. They're just in it to make money. So these things are probably somebody's computer generated fantasies, you know, just like my illustrations here, you know, and who knows. But let's see, what else? Do we got any more I can fit on here today? Yeah, most of these other ones that I've got ideas for take a little bit longer to illustrate. So anyways, I've rambled on enough today. This is what I've got. I just wanted to show this to you and see what you thought. And I'll keep coming at you with some more ideas and illustrations for some other craft in the near future. So listen, take care of your pets. Love your neighbors. Love your parents. Give your children a hug. Brothers and sisters, be kind to one another on social media. And remember that we're all connected in some way. I'm finding that out. We are all connected. And we need to change the paradigm. We need to change the mentality of war and change it to love and to live in the moment and be present in the moment. Remember, when you say things derogatory or mean to people, once it's out of your mouth, you can't take it back. And so let's start to be kind to one another. And again, thank you for joining me today and listening to my ramblings. And I hope they make sense. If they touch somebody, that's great. Many people have touched me in my life, and I just want to see if I can repay the service. Okay, so listen, ArtzyDude out for now, and we'll talk soon. And yeah, it's all good. Love you guys. Bye-bye.